All right, down here at the bottom left, member for the team, NS Hosa. Very strong Protoss player. Up 2-1 right now. He is known as
NS Hosa, Tassadar.
His PvP so far has been pretty solid. His timings, micro. His opponent, on the other hand, showed some great Blink micro last game. He is
NS Pause.
Crossfire, very straight up map for PvP. You know, there's nothing in the early game, that is. There's nothing really unusual about it. In the middle of the game and in the late game, Colossi are so powerful because of the same reason they're powerful in other matchups on this map. But for that same reason as well, Blink Stalkers can be quite good because if you have that maneuverability, you avoid the middle of the map, go around the edges, your opponent never really knows where your Stalkers are. So Blink can be quite good here as well. In the middle of the game, if we ever get that far. Look at that mirror matchup there, those probes like exactly halfway through the minimap bumping into each other. Production tab has a line of symmetry.
Tassadar doesn't look like the player who wants to get further in the game. He wants to finish it off when he's efficient, when he's crisp on the micro, he knows his build order that far, and just relentless pressure. That's the way he wants to play it.
I can respect that. PvP does get a little weird. Like last game when the 4-gate didn't really work for either player, it's like, well, what choice do you make next? Do you make a Robo? Do you make a Twilight Council? You know, what should you do? Should you warp in another round of units because you're not really sure if your opponent's just going to wait a second and attack you? It's a wide ramp.
Well, Puzzle had the opportunity there to actually go for that quick attack because he was already out on the map. He'd contained Tassadar into his main as well, and Tassadar was just a little bit paranoid of an attack coming. That's why he had those extra units. So that played well into Puzzle's game plan there.
Uh-oh, Puzzle's able to hide a probe here.
Ooh.
Now, normally, this doesn't really make too big of a deal because Tassadar will look for it and find it, but if he doesn't find it, it'll be a huge deal. And again, Tassadar way ahead on Warp Gate research, a full 20 seconds ahead. He just made his Cybernetics core faster. There's just nothing else to say about it. Like, they both did the same build, but he just had his probe ready the second the Warp Gate or the Gateway finished. Boom, made that core.
And it's things like that are actually giving him the edge in this matchup too. Just the tiny little things that people do. And there we go.
And the 4th Gateway.
Starting to look familiar.
Yep, and Puzzle doing the same. Again, just a little bit behind there. And right off the bat, Tassadar making his second Stalker. Puzzle's second Stalker a little bit behind as well. These things, these little things, make such a difference.
He didn't actually make a pylon in Tassadar's main either. He just saved that probe. He does realize... hang on.
Hang on.
Oop.
And here comes the first few units of Tassadar. He is going to try to make a pylon on the low ground, then go up into the high ground. Targeting down that Stalker. He may actually be able to make a pylon inside his opponent's base, but meanwhile, Puzzle has made a pylon inside of Tassadar's base.
He has. He's losing a lot of armor on that Stalker, though. He needs to be careful. A second one coming in to save him, but those pylons at the front of the ramp are still being made.
Yeah, and it's going to finish up here. He's going to warp in some units. His Warp Gate research is done faster. His first 4 Stalkers are in before Puzzle's. This has been the story of these games so far. But now, Puzzle is going to have more units because he didn't attack right away.
Yeah. He's losing a lot of armor on that pylon, though. That can severely hurt him. And whoa, here we go. He's actually got a lot of Stalkers on low health. This is not looking good for Tassadar at the moment.
Puzzle having a much higher Stalker count. Tassadar trying to micro back. He just doesn't have enough. He's going to warp in some more units like we were talking about before. He has that faster round of warp in.
But he needs to focus down these Stalkers.
And the pylon goes down. That means Puzzle is supply blocked now.
Yep.
He's
going to be able to come through and pick off these Stalkers. He's going to be able to chase them down because Tassadar not focusing his Zealots on the Stalkers to try and chase them.
And that's going to be it, man.
Yep.
That's just it.
And the pylon units being warped in the main here. Tassadar already being prepared for this, though.
Yeah, he is prepared. I'm kind of a little bit curious about why Puzzle did this. He didn't necessarily have to. He could have waited and done it in a more advantageous time.
Well, he can just be aggressive from now on because he is not supply blocked. Well, he will be again in a second, but...
Oh, he's going to actually warp in 3 Zealots here.
Oh, they're going to get it in time. There we go.
Oh, he gets... Even the 4th Zealot gets in. I don't even know how that happened. He, stopped killing the pylon for a second, and
his Stalker's coming up the ramp.
Yeah, the Stalkers just weren't there quickly enough to really make use of these Zealots as well as he could have, but it may end up being enough.
He was working through those Zealots of Tassadar though, and that's going to be huge. He's going to lose all of his, but he's still got the extra hits off on these Stalkers. Reinforcements coming in now for Puzzle as they finally make it across the
Yeah, I
map.
think this is unfortunately for Tassadar going to be it. He's just losing too many hits on these units as they warp in. Great micro by Puzzle, pulling back those weakened units, and if he kills that last Stalker, like I was saying earlier, I mean, if you have Stalkers against no Stalkers, what's your opponent going to do?
There we go, 4 more Zealots coming in. GG.
Well, tie game.
Puzzle's
2-2 for these guys.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back. Some great control. Both players doing great control. Part of the problem for Tassadar with that was that his first 4 Stalkers didn't go into battle right away. He warped them in and then hesitated for a minute, and that means that his advantage went away. And in fact, because he lost that first Stalker when he was chasing, then he had 1 less Stalker than his opponent, and then from there he was kind of playing from behind.
Yeah, I was a bit unlucky on that part as well, because the second Stalker came out right as he ran past the gateways. So it's just tiny little things like that can change this matchup immensely, and it just looks so one-sided once that first engagement goes through.
But guys, our next map is Terminus Re, and this will be the map that you might not see 4 gates happen on. It's a really big map. You can still 4 gate here, but it's so large that players feel a little bit apprehensive about 4 gating. On the other hand, though, there's so many different places to hide that first pylon that things, you know, we probably will see both these guys 4 gate, but we might not. We might see something weird. We might see Blink play. We might actually see a robotics being thrown down. It could happen. You never know.
Well, we are 4 games in already, tied 2-2. Tassadar has done the same build every single game. And Puzzle's reaction is just he has to do it as well, otherwise he gets overrun. Yeah. So I think that's the game plan going to be, and Tassadar might be able to use that to his advantage. But then again, because Puzzle's done that as a response, he can't really do much in this situation.
Yeah. We'll see. Only time will tell, Unstable. We're going to take another 5-minute break. So see you guys in 5.